Hello everyone, welcome to the Maple Table. My name's Nathaniel. This is a channel where we discuss all things around role-playing games, so if that's something you're interested in, would love to have you hit that subscribe button and that bell notification so that you know when my content is available. Today, we're going to be talking about the changing breeds. So this is a Werewolf the Apocalypse supplement, and it's probably, in my opinion, the most important supplement for this game. This is the 20th anniversary edition. It's a bit of a thick book, but the reason that I find it so important for this series is it gives you so much more options in terms of other were creatures that you can be. So this is really going to expand your player options and the different types of creatures that you can build, and I'm all about player options. Although this book does give you quite a bit of building options available for different Fera creatures and different were creatures that you might want to play, it is also incredibly lore dense with each of those changing breeds. What's also interesting is that the perspective that it's told from each of the changing breeds is from their own perspective and how they view the werewolves and all of the sins that they committed. And there's a lot, like a lot. In this particular book, there are 11 changing breeds that you can work into your own game. On top of that, there's also information from 4 different changing breeds that are considered extinct in the canon of the World of Darkness. They don't exist anymore, but that's not to say that they can't exist in your game. Within the first few pages of this book, it does explicitly state that in order to play one of these Fera, it would be a very good idea to be collaborating with your storyteller and also with the rest of your players. Garou are notoriously untrusting, and getting them to work with even their own werewolf tribes is very difficult as part of the canon. I don't feel that this is a major problem. This will all come down to the player's willingness to work in their backstory within your campaign or your chronicle, and some of the creativeness that comes from your storyteller. Today we're just going to take a quick look at all of the options available to you within this book, and I will go more in depth into each one in another video. The first of the changing breeds that are still part of the World of Darkness canon are the Jabba. They are were hyenas, and they can be found commonly in the lands of Africa. Next up, we have the Ananasi. They are essentially were spiders. Notably about the Ananasi, they are more tainted isn't quite the right word for it, but they do have more influence from the weaver than they do from the worm. Next up is the Bastet. They are were cats, and there is many tribes of them within the breed of Bastet, and there will be quite a few videos around them and their different breeds. Next, you will find the Korax. They are the messengers of Gaia. They're crows. And like crows, they actually have a real penchant for wanting to grab and take shiny things. Next up is the Garou. They are werebears. Think of them as Gaia's caretakers. They are healers and quite solitary in their adventures. There is also a changing breed called Kitsune or Kitsune, depending on how you pronounce it. They are were foxes, and they hail from Asia. If you wanted to have a bit more of a prehistoric connection, then a Macaulay might be the choice for you. Think of them as the record keepers of Gaia. They remember everything. Like, that's literally a right that they have. They can remember the events that have happened to them, to their ancestors, and all the way down the line. And then, of course, there's the Naga, and they are were snakes. It's a little creepy, but they are assassins. They are Gaia's assassins. And as far as all the other tribes and Fera are concerned, when it comes to the Naga, they don't exist. Their name is something that's only whispered in the shadows. If we go back to the plains of Africa, you will also find the Nuisha. They are were coyotes. I suppose you could find them in the wildlands of Africa. You could potentially find them some in Australia, I believe. And of course, you're going to see those in North America. If Black Plague is more your style, then we have the Ratkin for you. Were rats. You would think they would be a little bit more prolific, being that a rat is a very common animal, even by today's standards. The problem is, within this book of the changing breeds, As I mentioned, it does cover some of the sins of the Garou. And it's told from the Fera's perspective, not the Garou's. The Garou have a tendency to downplay some of their events, like hunting down and exterminating 4 different races of Fera. And finally, the weirdest one is the Roke. I believe I'm saying that right. Roke? Rokea? Weresharks. I don't know if this is going to be appropriate, but one of the things that has kept the Weresharks going is they can literally impregnate somebody from across the room without having any physical contact from them. So that's kind of how they have persisted over the years. They're really freaking weird. Some of the races that the Garou have exterminated, one would be the Apis. Apis? Apis? I want to say Apis. We're going to say Apis. They are were-bulls, basically. They're minotaurs almost. Kind of weird looking. And one of the most tragic races that the Garou have exterminated, in particular the Shadow Lords, would be the Camazots, and they are were-bats. The were-bats happen to be one of my favorite extinct races. Another race that they've also killed out would be the Gronder. Not Grinder, Gronder. They are were-boars. Or they were. There's also a lost tribe that belongs to the Bastet, and they would be called the Kara, or the saber-toothed tigers. And the Makole, they also lost a tribe of were-turtles, called the Varna. This is a fantastic book. Not only does it give your players more options in terms of what type of creature they would like to play within the World of Darkness, but there's also tons more gifts, tons more rights that are each specific related to all of the Fera that I have just touched on. I will be covering all of them in a future video series, much like I did with the tribes of werewolves. If you enjoyed today's video, please hit that like button and that subscribe button with the bell notification. I put out videos every Monday and Thursday. I have been covering more so Starfinder and Werewolf the Apocalypse. There is a 5th edition of Werewolf the Apocalypse coming out sometime in 2021, and I plan to cover that as well. Thank you so much to all my subscribers. Your viewership really does mean a lot to me. I am going to leave a little card up over here and up over here of a playlist that I have selected and one that YouTube has selected for yourself. I encourage you to click on any one of those and see some of my other werewolf content. My name's Nathaniel. You've been watching The Maple Table. Thanks for stopping by, everyone.